Nonfiction. Literary nonfiction or creative nonfiction presents an artistic arrangement of factual information, usually in prose, rather than poetry, although some literary nonfiction includes poetry. In relating the facts, literary nonfiction employs fiction techniques, such as character, perspective, and in this case it's usually personal where the author is the narrator, plot, setting, symbol, and dialogue. Like fiction, as the godfather of creative nonfiction Lee Goodkind indicates, nonfiction must tell a compelling story striking some sort of universal chord that may incite readers to action or change their thinking. The quality that makes literary nonfiction different from other similar genres like history and journalism is storytelling, employing real-life experiences of the writer or people they know or people they learn about through the techniques of immersion or involvement in a dramatic, often suspenseful sequence, in order to communicate information or establish a special meaning or idea. The use of these fiction techniques makes literary nonfiction more artistic than history or journalism, although it partakes of both. Although nonfiction writers employ fiction techniques, the genre generally demands adherence to the facts, although there is some disagreement regarding whether fictionalized sequences can be added that are consistent in spirit with the facts. Goodkind argues against fictionalizing. Creative nonfiction writers must always work as hard as necessary to be true to the facts. Rather than using fiction to enhance the artistic experience, nonfiction writers will do more research to get deeper factual information or create better connections among existing facts and sections. They can also situate their stories in a complex historical context for richness. Goodkind's argument is particularly important because of readers' expectations of literary nonfiction. Reader response theorist Hans Robert Jauss argues that cultures judge literary works based on a horizon of expectations. Wolfgang Iser applies that horizon of expectations to individuals. If something is labeled nonfiction, readers expect facts. As a case in point, consider the 2006 public outcry against James Frey's A Million Little Pieces, which was marketed as a memoir and revealed to be partly fiction. 2 years after the revelation, no, maybe even 5 years after the revelation, if you see the Oprah segment with James Frey, Frey was still defending his choices. The need to adhere to genre expectations in nonfiction may be particularly important because readers put a different kind of emotional and intellectual investment into nonfiction. When a writer promises facts and he delivers a gripping story of recovery from addiction, readers respond emotionally and intellectually. As with fiction, they experience an aesthetic response, but they also may think differently about themselves and their lives and take different action in the world based on reality promised by the nonfiction. When the text breaks the promise of accuracy, the reader may feel betrayed because the broken promise may undermine the reader's self-confidence and life decisions.